The sun was just rising over the eastern bank of the Nile when a merchant named Hepu opened his eyes. The river lay calm and smooth, like polished bronze, disturbed only by the slow movement of fishermen's boats. Hepu loved this hour, before the heat, before the noise of the market, before the shouting of porters and the endless arguments over prices. He was neither noble nor poor. His father had traded grain, his grandfather linen cloth, and Hepu continued the family craft, but on a broader scale. His warehouse stood close to the river. Inside were sacks of wheat, jars of oil, bundles of papyrus, and small copper ingots wrapped carefully in cloth brought from distant lands. This day promised importance. A messenger had arrived from Thebes bearing a sealed message. The temple of Amun required incense and lapis lazuli. The price would be generous, but so would the risk. The road south was long, and caravans sometimes vanished into the desert without a trace. Hepu washed his face with water from a clay jug, put on a clean linen robe, and checked the amulet hanging from his neck, the symbol of Thoth, god of writing and calculation. A merchant, he believed, survived by numbers as much as by faith. The market of Memphis was already alive. Donkeys brayed, slaves carried heavy baskets, traders shouted praises of their goods. Hepu stopped at the stall of an old acquaintance, a dealer in incense from the land of Punt. The man showed him dark, thick myrrh resin, its scent heavy and intoxicating. "Too expensive," Hepu said calmly. "For a temple, everything is expensive," the trader replied with a grin. "But the gods pay well." They bargained for a long time, weighing goods on copper scales, swearing by the names of gods and ancestors. At last, an agreement was reached. Hepu knew that deceit might bring profit once, but punishment forever. 2 days later, the caravan set out. 5 donkeys, 2 hired guards, and Hepu himself, who never trusted important journeys to others. By day, the sun burned mercilessly. By night, the sand grew cold like stone. One guard told stories of bandits, but Hepu feared chance more than men. A broken leg, a lost sack, a miscalculated supply of water. On the 4th day, they saw the green ribbon of the Nile again. Thebes welcomed them with noise and the smell of burning offerings. The temple rose above the city, its columns like a forest of stone. Hepu entered with lowered head. A priest examined the goods in silence, then nodded. "Amun favors you, merchant." The payment was generous: silver, grain, and permission to trade near the temple wall, an honor Hepu had never dared to imagine. On the journey home, he did not think of wealth. He thought of his place in a world ruled by the flooding of the Nile, by the will of the gods, and by the uncertainty of fate. A merchant lived in between river and land, temple and market, risk and reason. When his boat finally reached the shore of Memphis, the sun was setting, turning the water to gold. Hepu smiled. Tomorrow would bring a new day, a new bargain, and a new road. And as long as there was a road, life would continue.